Hey, gifted fifth graders. This is your video walkthrough of the week 2 assignments for BizWorld. So you don't have to watch the video walkthrough, but I know for some of us it's a little easier if we hear things being talked through. So this is all of the tasks that we have to accomplish in week 2 of BizWorld. All right, so this week you're focusing on production and you have some financial decisions to make. So production creation is going to be one of your main tasks. You'll be deciding if you are going to sell stock to the venture capitalist this week. You may decide to take out a bank loan this week. And there are some payments that are going to be made this week. You'll be paying rent, salaries, and any product supplies that you need to purchase. Okay, so last week, in week 1, let me put the presentation screen up so you can see this bigger. All right. Last week, during week 1, when you completed the week 1 assignment, you guys had some time to discuss with the other employees in your company about what type of product you're going to be creating. You may have decided that you're going to stick with string-made items like friendship bracelets or other things similar to that, especially if there was someone in your company that took your company's string and supplies home that you had already purchased. You may have decided to do that. I also shared that I am allowing you guys to use your own materials this time for BizWorld, although normally even if you use materials from home, you still have to purchase them through BizWorld. But this time, if you have materials that you would like to use, you are welcome to use those at no additional cost right now. So you may have decided to continue making those string-made items. Now, that does not mean that you need to go out and buy a whole lot of thread or that you absolutely have to go out and buy thread to make bracelets out of. If your family wants to do that and you're happy to do that, then that's fine, but you do not need to do that. There are lots of other good virtual products that you can create if you're not going to make string-made items. So you may have also chosen to use Canva to make greeting cards or posters or some type of paper product, or you may have decided that you are going to be creating animation shorts or online games that you're going to be selling through Scratch. All right, so the big task that was supposed to be accomplished by the end of week 1 was to make sure that you have confirmed what that product selection was. And I have that table linked in here for you to click on in case you have not done that yet. So everyone should be working on producing something. So when I did, it looks like I only heard from Galaxia Warriors. They had their decision pretty. So if you put, you need to make sure you do that first time, week 1 assignment all, and you're lost about what this is. And you may want to go back to week 1 and reevaluate all of that so that you can catch up and be on that. I think my video is getting a little laggy because I'm clicking from tab to tab. Maybe it'll catch back up in a minute. Okay. Okay, so next, you have some financial decisions that you're going to need to make this week. So some of you may have to decide to take out a bank loan or to sell some more shares of your stock to the venture capitalist because you don't have enough money for the payments that you need to make this week. So if that's the case, you'll have to make a decision to do that. Some of you may decide that you don't want to do that this week. On this slide, you'll see the payments that are going to have to be made this week. So I'm going to be taking out all of those payments on Friday. So you'll see me deduct all of those payments that are listed there on Friday. Now, one thing that I included that could be a little bit confusing is for product costs for supplies. If you indicated on that chart that you are going to make one of the virtual products, like a Scratch animation or something through Canva, for this Friday, I'm only going to deduct one product cost for you. So like for example, the cost to make a scratch game. Let's say that you're going to make a scratch game and you're going to sell it. The cost to make one is $4 BizBucks. So I'm just going to deduct $4 BizBucks for that. But if you decide later on, if you finish making one and you're going to make another one to sell, it's $4 BizBucks for each game or each animation that you make. So for right now, I'm only going to charge as if you made one, but we can always change that as we go. And then too, like with the Canva, if you decide you're going to start with making greeting cards, it's going to be $2 BizBucks for the first thing that you make that you're going to sell, and then an additional $2 BizBucks every time you create a new item that you're going to sell. That doesn't mean you can't go ahead and make them. So let's say I've only taken $2 BizBucks out, but you finished making a greeting card and you also want to make a poster, or you also want to make something else awesome that you saw on Canva. You can make as many products as you want. We'll just have to make sure that we get charged for everything that we put up in our store at the end. And I'll help you catch up on all that. So don't stress about that. Okay, on this slide, there's a place for you to click and view your transaction chart. And it will be, it's the same one that was in our slide for you last week, but you can click here and view how much money currently has available to them. And it also, remember, gives the outline of future withdrawals that you can expect to have to pay out. It's good information to have as you're making that decision about whether you're going to take out a bank loan or sell money, or sell stock to the venture capitalist this week. Okay, so that's the big financial decision that you and your company are going to have to make. And then the next few slides are just going to kind of help you think through that decision. You guys get to enjoy my wonderful office memes because you know I love the office. All right. You get to think through the difference between a bank loan and a venture capitalist. There's a place for you to click and hear my explanation if you're not sure what the difference is. There's a news flash this week that stock is down. So although you can sell shares of stock this week, it's down a little bit. If you're awesome, if your company is awesome and does some great production over the next couple weeks, when you can sell again in week 4, stock might be up. So that's another thing to consider if you're thinking about selling more shares of stock to me. Info about the bank loan and how much interest you'll have to pay if you take out a bank loan. And then there's the place for you to go to discuss what you think you should do with your company. This is very similar to last week when you discussed what products you wanted to make. So it looks almost exactly the same. When you click into that document, you're going to be able to find your company's chart. There's a place for you to put what you think you should do, whether you think you should sell stock, take out a loan, or neither. And then for you to put your provide feedback in a very respectful way to your employees. All right. So the CEO financial advisor, this is really you ultimately. You are the financial person. So of course you need to consider all of the thoughts of your employees, all of the thoughts of your team members when you make that decision. But you are going to be the one who ultimately enters that final decision for your company using the other link on that slide, HyperDoc. It's going to take you to a chart similar to the one you used out of week 1. You're going to put in your company, and then there's a place for you to put your decision. There's also some details there. If your final decision is that you are going to try to sell some stock to me, remember, just like when you pitched, I need to be convinced that I want to buy more stock from you, that I want to give you an investment in return for more ownership in your company. So you need to make sure you're providing me a little blurb. I would do a good 3 to 4 sentences of, we would like to offer you blank shares of stock for blank BizBucks per share, and this is why make that deal with us. If you're going to take out a bank loan, then I need to know how much of it take out in increments of 10 BizBucks. And I'm going to check all this on Friday, and then I'm going to reflect it all in our financial log. So it's got to be done by Friday. So it needs to be done before Friday morning in order for me to check it and apply it to your financial statement. So if you're not the CEO and you log back on Thursday afternoon and you see, oh no, no one has made a decision for my company, you might want to go ahead and make your own best decision on there. Otherwise, I'll have to just make a good decision for you. All right, and then we get to the really exciting part of this week when you get to be producing your items that you're going to sell. And I know some of you are so on top of it, you have probably already been working on production for quite a while. But if not, this is going to be your chance to explore some really awesome resources. Hopefully, a lot of you are going to try out some of the virtual resources, even if you are still going to do string-made items, because I think you're going to have a lot of fun creating them. So there are some tutorial links for you here. Some of you might already be pretty familiar with how to use Canva or how to use Scratch. But you can always learn more. So I have added some tutorial links for you here, as well as that original link, that original tutorial that we watched in class about how to make a basic twist bracelet. I also put on there how to use your Google email to sign into Canva, because I saw someone posted that they were having a hard time doing that. So I put on there how you should be able to do that. All right, so those are your tasks for this week. You have a big financial decision to make, and you have some time to do some awesome creating. You guys are so creative, and you come up with great ideas. So I really just cannot wait to see what you guys are gonna come up with, what you're gonna produce. Please feel free to share with me as you're making things. I'd love to see what you're making. So send me emails or post pictures or whatever to share with me the awesome products that you're creating to sell. And if you have any questions, you can always email me. You can always post a comment up on the classroom. And this is going to be our last full production week. So this is the last week that's committed to producing items. We're going to be moving on next week into other bigger and better things, like we're going to be going into making our logos, which are going to be really cool. We're going to be thinking about creating an advertisement poster. We're going to have to get our online store set up so that we're ready to display the items that we're going to be selling. So we're going to have lots of other things to do in the next few weeks. Now, you can spend as much extra time outside of the basic task producing items as you want, but this is the last week where we're heavily focusing on producing our items. So good luck, and I can't wait to see what you guys create.